Well, hello, everybody. Thank you once again for joining us here on Movie Show Plus. A brand new episode right here today. I'm Tom Santilli, film critic for Movie Show Plus, of course. I am here with the one, the
Greg
only
Russell.
Greg Russell. How you doing, man?
Great. And hot dog, huh?
Hey, hot dog. Talk about dividing. Isn't there enough division in the world right now? Now we got to look at behind you and divide people by their favorite Detroit hot dog.
That's right. And we'll tell you which ones are ours at the end of the show. How's that?
Let's do that. That's a great tease. People will stay around for that, I'm sure.
Right.
So,
I wish I had one though right now, that's for sure.
I'm pretty hungry. But you know what, Greg? I'm also hungry to get back to the theater.
There you go.
And as people know, as they might have heard, October 9th, Michigan movie theaters are finally reopening after having been closed down since March. What are you doing, Greg? Are you going to be one of the first people in line? Or are you going to be back at the movie theater?
I won't be like per se one of the first, but I do look forward to, getting back out, getting, the theater popcorn and just kind of enjoying, the whole thing. But yeah, we'll just see how, everything starts up. But I've got a couple of friends who did go out on the opening weekend. And so got to talk with them about it as well. So we'll pass that along.
It's crazy, but if people missed it too, I urge people to check it out on our website, movieshowplus.com. But last episode, I actually did a walkthrough with Paul Glantz of Imagine Theaters. We went through Imagine Macomb. He talked about some of the changes that people can expect when they're going to the theaters. And this week coming up on the show, there's more of that. We have a little bit from the Phoenix Theater, but also, Greg, you're going to be interviewing John David Washington, who stars in TENET.
That's right.
And of course, TENET is the movie that everybody's been hearing about because it's kind of been like the goalpost of when movies are going to open. But TENET will be here in Michigan this weekend. Right,
because I know that's the big one, like you said, at the Imagine Theater. That's when they even put everything out. TENET coming, come join.
Yep.
So,
also opening this weekend is War with Grandpa. Stars Robert De Niro, Gene Seymour, Uma Thurman, and of course, as always, streaming is here to stay. Let's face it. And there's a lot coming out of streaming that we'll hit on. But Greg, as we're talking, it's almost hard to keep things relevant because as we talk, by the time the show airs, so much more has changed. But right now, today, they also just announced that Dune, the big, huge Dune remake, it was already moved back to like Christmas time. They've now announced that that's not opening till next October 2021. That happened. The day that it's moving to happens to be the day of the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So that's going to probably end up having to move or get delayed. With the Bond movie having moved and now Dune moving, really, there's like a Pixar thing coming out before Thanksgiving. And then there's Wonder Woman on Christmas Day. And that's really all there is. I don't think they're going to keep their days either. I mean, do you think that there are going to be movies to watch at the theater, or are people just going to be watching TENET for the next 3 months?
Probably doing that, for the next 3 months. And then also, as compared to, of course, years before and when things were the way they were. Yeah, a lot of folks, because sometimes my family would, on Christmas Day, nothing's up in the afternoon, we go to a movie. I don't see that happening, per se, as much this year, where at Christmas Day, it's like, no, we'll just stay at home. We'll put on National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, watch that in the background, Love Actually, all the movies my family and I watch, and just call it a day.
It's a crazy, crazy world out there, but at least theaters are opening. Maybe it's a good step in the right direction. They're doing it safely, but hey, from there, let's just dive into what we have going on here today. Lots of interviews again. John David Washington. We have interviews with Robert De Niro, mostly from Greg. We're also going to hear from the Phoenix Theater. And stay tuned. Do we like American hot dogs or Lafayette hot dogs? I know you've always wanted to know. Stay tuned.
Wait till the end of the show. We'll let you know.
We'll tell you.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
It's the last time I saw you was when you were here in Detroit. But
I had a good time too. That was fun.
oh
I like
yeah.
Detroit.
And speaking of fun, I mean, I just have to say, I know how, for movie makers and people in films, and especially when it's something as intense as like this one, you want people to have conversation, after it's over. I gotta say, you hit the jackpot on this one, man.
Good. Well, thank you. I mean, it's thought provoking. I think it's going to require at least 2 or 3 viewings to really start to try to explain it to people. Like on one viewing, trying to explain it, forget it, and don't feel bad that you can't. That's kind of the point, It's like what they say in the trailer: don't try to understand it, feel it, because there's so many visual, beauties that are in it, and what's happening with the concept. It's very loud. So, there's so much to absorb. I think it's hard to really try to break it down on one viewing.
Absolutely. And just like with what you said, there were people I knew who had seen it before. And so you do ask, well, what's going on? And the best description, or the best thing to say to a person is see it for yourself. Don't.
Yes. I'd echo that. That's it. In fact, if you don't mind, I'm steal that for people. I'm definitely.
All right. I love that. I saw this in IMAX and it was like,
oh, you did?
Whoa.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Oh, really good. That's great.
Right, just right there at you. And then, like I said, so many good scenes. And the bad guy is really bad in this movie. Where
Kenneth Branagh. He's a sweet man in real life. He's a phenomenal actor. I mean, he was speaking with a Russian accent backwards. I mean, that's phenomenal work. I've never seen anything like that before. So.
Right. And also one of my other favorite scenes, even though it's short, but was with you and Michael Caine. I mean, that was just great.
Yeah, that will forever go in my greatest moments in on set. I mean, being able to sit opposite him, and I found myself really just watching him more than acting with him, because I mean, he's such a charming man, and he's obviously a living legend. Responsible for so many great works over the years, and I just couldn't believe I was in a scene with him. Being able to have dialogue with him was great.
John David, thank you so very, very much. Great to see you, and look forward to talking to you again very soon.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks.
You too.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
What'll happen here?
Hasn't happened yet.
Can I help you, sir? You can help me find Maria. Oh, Maria's gone. We're completely self-checkout now.
Please scan your item. Please scan your item.
I just did.
Please scan your item.
Yeah, right.
Sir!
This can't keep happening.
You're not putting me in a home.
What if it were our home?
Grandpa!
Jenny!
Hi, Grandpa.
Hello, sweetheart. How's your daughter's place, Ed?
She gave me my grandson's room. He's not too happy about it.
How do you like your room?
Kid looking. I didn't want it to be this way either.
I just want my room back. Get away from me!
Oh, come on.
And I was just going to tell you, Oaks, I've got a grandson who's about the same age as your character in the movie. I'm going to let him watch it with me, but I'm going to tell him, don't get any ideas. Just be good, because I was going to start, Bob, with you. You've gone up against many tough people in other movies throughout your career. This kid is probably one of the toughest.
Yes, he is. No, but we had a good time together. Oaks is a smart kid and wily in the best sense of the word, good sense of humor. We had a lot of fun. That's important when you work on something. You have to have something there. It helps. I mean, you don't have to have it, but if you have it, it's much better. And with the whole cast, there was always something with everybody that, for me, I really liked. I mean, everybody: Oaks, Laura, Rob Wrigley, Chris Walken, an old friend of mine, Uma Thurman, Cheech Marin. I mean, everybody was great. The little girl, Poppy, she's adorable. I mean, it was all the casting. The director had the sense to put people together that it kind of worked, but they have their own specialness, and you could see it.
This just looks like it was a fun movie to be a part of. A couple of scenes, especially with both of you. I'll start with you, Jane, on this one. Talk a little bit about the dodgeball game.
Oh, well, I have never done dodgeball.
Oh.
Certainly never trampoline dodgeball. I had no idea what we were letting ourselves in for. And they said, are you comfortable? Are you fit? Do you think you can do this? And I went, yes, I used to be a dancer. I'd forgotten that I was in my late 60s and had bad knees and bad back. And I was not going to let anyone know. And they asked everybody else, and everyone else said, no, we're fit, we're good. So when this thing starts bouncing, it's very unpredictable and very unforgiving. I have never played football in my life, so throwing anything overhand is not easy, not a natural thing for me, but I had a blast doing it. And I'm just surprised we weren't all taken out on stretchers.
I say, Chicha, how about for yourself, the same thing?
Well, I just, I was trepidatious about doing this because I had a bad knee, and then right after that, I got a knee transplant. But we had to wait for a donor. And De Niro was helping me, and, hey, what's your knee? I didn't know landing was always the problem, but it was fun. They called all the guys in for. I think, were you in the initial call, Jane, to come in and see if we actually could do this?
I'm not sure, but I do remember knowing that I didn't want to let them think that I was less than.
Yeah,
I was determined to. I didn't. Of course, I remember now with your bad knee.
Yeah, it was.
Let them know, did you? I think everyone was secretly strapped up. I think I had an icy hot patch on my back, and definitely some ibuprofen before I started, and a few things.
I was strapped. It was Atlanta, so you got to be.
We got to end this somehow.
Santa's dead!
Did you see that?
How would you like to see the city of Detroit like you've never seen it before? On Russell Brothers City Tours, we take you to the places that you know, but the fun part is we take you to places that you probably don't know. Hi, I'm Greg Russell of Russell Brothers City Tours. Come on, let's get on board and take a tour of the city of Detroit. Where Russell Brothers City Tours started was actually in the winter of 2017. My wife and I and our daughter and her husband were at an event downtown Detroit. So when heading back home, I always ask, can I take the scenic route, which means just going woodward straight north. Normally, my wife would always say, just take the freeway. But this time I think it was my holiday gift, so she said, go ahead and take your scenic route. So as we're going up Woodward, I'm pointing out certain places and certain things, what they used to be, what used to be here, what happened in certain things. And my daughter was going, Pop, you know so much about the city, why don't you just give a tour? And it made me think, you know what, that's a good idea. So I got home and I called my brother Cliff Russell, and some of you may remember Cliff. He was a guy who knew everything about the city of Detroit, was deeply involved with the community. So I called him and I told him the idea, and he said, okay, hey Greg, you put it together and I'll be there. So we were all set. We were going to do it in 2018. Well, unfortunately, in February of 2018, my brother Cliff passed away from a heart attack. And it was devastating to our family, but it made me think even more about doing this tour. And that's why it's still called Russell Brothers City Tours. It is my tribute and my honor to my brother. So when I go around town, I tell people all about the places here and even talk about some of the stuff that Cliff did in the community. People sometimes ask, what's the difference between our company as compared to other tour companies? Well, one thing that we like to do is show you stuff that we're pretty sure you probably never have seen or heard of in the city of Detroit. Also, we let you at times customize your own tour. There might be some particular things that you want to see, where we don't just say, okay, no, we're stuck to our schedule and our thing. You want to go see something, we will take you to see it. We'd love to hear from you. Just give us a call, 313-399-0683, or go to our website, Russell Brothers City Tours, or on all social media. Come on, we'd love to take you for a ride.
A Dream Limousine continues to be Metro Detroit's finest luxury transportation service. 734-542-6800. offering late model luxury SUVs to brand new party buses that seat up to 34 passengers. 734-542-6800, including the one-of-a-kind Escalade Stretch with the exciting jet door. Call 734-542-6800. That's 734-542-6800. A dream limousine.
I distinctly remember Addison crossing you off my guest list. What are you doing here?
Dear Margot, you were an unforgettable Peter Pan. You must play it again soon.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure.
What I'd like to know is where did you get the confidence from to make a film with such...
Ignorance, sheer ignorance. You know, there's no confidence to equal it. It's only when you know something about a profession, I think, that you're timid.
One of the most highly anticipated films of 2020 is finally available to see this weekend, as are several other films. Here are my reviews. Originally set to open in the middle of a blockbuster summer season, Tenet will now be the first major movie to hit movie theaters in Michigan once they reopen on October 9th. The time-bending Christopher Nolan action piece earned increasing notoriety over the past few months, as time and time again it represented the hopes of movie theaters returning to quote-unquote normal. First set to debut in July, then August, Warner Brothers took a unique approach when it decided to launch Tenet overseas first toward the end of August, rolling it out in the States only in markets where it could be seen on the big screen and bypassing any sort of streaming option. Tenet finally arrives here in Michigan, and there's no doubt that many moviegoers who decide it's worth it to brave the pandemic and go out to the theaters on opening weekend will be happy just seeing a movie, any movie. But sadly, Tenet is not the savior film that everybody was hoping for, and in fact, it's actually kind of a letdown. In a non-pandemic year, I may even go so far as to call it a major disappointment, given that it comes from Christopher Nolan, who is clearly one of the best filmmakers of his generation. John David Washington, Elizabeth Debicki, Robert Pattinson, and Kenneth Branagh star in this mysterious spy thriller, and while some of the scenes and sequences are quite impressive when it comes to stunt work and practical effects, the movie itself feels hollow. At 2.5 hours, it's bloated and lacking of any real characters to latch onto. Too much of the film and the interaction between characters is spent explaining what's going on, and even then, it's nearly impossible to follow or understand. In IMAX, it's even more of a visual spectacle, but even with the extra immersion, Tenet ultimately feels overhyped and underwhelming. I give it a C. For my written reviews of The War with Grandpa, and several great new documentaries now streaming, please visit the website. For more detailed reviews of these and other movies, please check me out on Rotten Tomatoes. You can go to the site, search the critics list to find Tom Santilli, and you can scroll through all of my recent and not so recent reviews. Another good way to find my stuff is to follow me on Twitter at Tom Santilli, or go to the website movieshowplus.com.
Honey, it's so good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Have a good day.
Me too.
When you're finished with the questions, please pass them forward.
Calm down, son. Calm down.
And that's when we found out I have schizophrenia, a chronic mental disorder allowing for visual and auditory hallucinations. Never normal.
Hello, Taylor Russell.
Hello. Hello.
It is good to see you. And I just have to tell you the story first and foremost. First time I ever saw you on TV and saw your name, I called up my family because you look just like members of my family. I said, do we have a relative named Taylor Russell who's on TV? And they're going, no, but we can check. And I said, she sure looks like one of us. So we have claimed you. So there you go.
Great. I am happy to be a part of your family. I don't know what you guys are like, but you seem very nice. So I'm fine with that.
Taylor, of course, very interesting movie. Your character, it's funny. She is so headstrong and determined. And as the story goes on, we actually find out why she is that way.
Yeah. She, I think you put it perfectly. She's all of those things, and holding her own secrets and not wanting to reveal them, and they get revealed anyways. I think like both of these characters go through, my character and Charlie's character.
I can only imagine what it must be like to play a person who has schizophrenia and just kind of like deal with that situation.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly, I mean, obviously for me as an actor, it's not nearly as daunting as it must be when that is your reality and you're having to come to grips with that. But yeah, it absolutely was. And I think for me, I really just want to lead from a place of respect more than anything.
Right.
In that I don't think this is something that has been talked about in the bulk of mainstream media in this way. And wanting to make sure we're doing that in the right way, and that we're not taking away from what the reality of living with this illness can be like for most people, and that it's always really coming back to the facts of what this is. And I think that's, for me, I knew like if we were able to do that, hopefully, the movie as a whole would work.
I can't put you through that. What makes you think you get to make that decision on your own? You didn't give me a chance to stay.
What'd you have?
I love you.
You have to let people discover all your dark places inside, because those are the people that can show you what's real.
He's back!
When you can't see that for yourself.
Hey, I'm right here.
Nolan Wright, involved in a car accident, resulting in the death of his wife.
Is there anyone else who can pick you up?
She's running a little late today.
And severe memory loss.
If this happens again, we're gonna have to notify child services.
I believe that I can reverse your condition.
We should give it a shot, right?
Come with me, please. We call this headset the black box. An immersive virtual pathway to your memories.
Here you are, you're playing a doctor to this young man who was in an accident, and you're using special equipment to try and help him figure things out. But it's just kind of like the more you get in, the more it's just weird for him.
It's very weird for him. And this is a procedure and technology that this character that I'm playing has developed. She's a neurophysicist, and she has been working, experimenting, researching memory loss. And she's developed this procedure with this technology to address that.
Right. And, it's a fun movie as far as the twists and turns, because obviously we can't get into a lot of the stuff because it was just even a big surprise to me, when you see what the whole thing's about.
Yeah.
And those are the type of movies you like.
Yeah, you like surprises, right?
Right.
I like them.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I like them too. That was one of the things that really attracted me to this particular production was in the script, the surprises are like, whoa, where is this going? And then you discover where it's going.
Yeah. As always, a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time. And yeah, folks, check out The Black Box. You will definitely be surprised.
It doesn't run me.
And welcome back to Movie Show Plus. I'm Greg Russell, along with the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Tom Santilli.
That's me.
How you doing, Tom?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. And got through another show. Again, I think the big news locally is that the movie theaters are reopening. But the bigger news is we're about to announce our favorite Detroit hot dog. You know, we got American, you got Lafayette. Everybody in Detroit has their favorite, I think, right?
Right, one of the two. It's that weird thing. Just they're right next door to each other. In fact, they share a wall. Really, not even different building.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like one, you don't seem to like the other, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm one of those. You can't go wrong. If you wander into either door and you happen not to look where you're at, you're gonna have a good hot dog. But for me, Greg, it's got to be American.
All right.
It's got to be an American dog.
And I agree with you as well. I mean, because I've done it before where I've gone in, I bought one in one place and one in the other.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Gone home and, like I said, both good. I do like American. I like their taste a little bit more. Also, I dare say I'm good friends with Grace Carroll, who owns the place. So,
it has something to do with it.
Yeah. So
she'll beat your rear end if you publicly state otherwise. Yeah.
But like you said, either way, you can't go wrong in Detroit. And it's kind of like one of the fun rivalries, as compared to, like, say, Michigan or Michigan State, where people are ready to go to blows. This one, everybody just, talks and still has fun and can eat whatever they want.
If people are watching this online, which they can do, movieshowplus.com, you can watch all of our episodes, including this one, past episodes, whatnot. But comment, do you have a favorite hot dog in Detroit?
Yeah.
Are American and Lafayette the only game in town? Are there any others? Post your comments, interact with us a little bit, and maybe we'll agree with you. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But yeah, Greg, it's been real, man. It's been great. Thank you again for joining us here on the show and bringing us all those amazing celebrity interviews.
Oh, look, people are calling now because they were watching the show.
It's probably Lafayette mad at us. But thank you, everybody, for watching Movie Show Plus, and we'll see you next time.
We're going to be the only family that still has a landline. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
Check out movieshowplus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.